I know. I'm kind of sort of slightly late. Just give me a second. Working on it. Ah. Ugh. Oh, I was dumb and forgot I'd taken down part of my setup and that I then had to redo. Okay. Here we go. And okay. Sorry about that. And let's maybe have a little more light going on. How's that for a crazy notion? Hey. Okay. I think. Cool. Cool. There we go. Hey, everybody. Oy. Of course, a flying muffin appeared. So, yes. Hope everybody had a lovely weekend. I had a very busy one. I had a show, debuting a new number. I'm actually hosting a show on Friday, so this is a packed sort of chunk of time for me. Hi from Australia. Ooh, cool. What's with the muffin? Dakota Raptor. I honestly don't really know how to explain it. It's somehow become a thing. I don't know why. It just kind of has. How's the weather up there today? It rained a little bit, but not nearly as much as I thought it was going to. So, not a bad day overall weather-wise. I was expecting it to sort of get worse on me, but it didn't. Finally awake to watch a stream. Oh, nerd in a library. Dare I ask where you're watching from? Some people are up like crazy late to watch this, so I'm trying to figure out if you're up crazy late or crazy early. Hail Hydra. Lovely. It's only midnight here for once. Oh, well, there you go, Meg. Just watch your Endgame review. First time I've seen her in a video. Yeah, it was the first time I got her on so far this year. So depending on how long you've been watching me, you may or may not have seen her before. But yeah, I had really wanted to get her on more frequently. You are going to see her again later this month because we already shot our 10 Best Characters of Gotham video together. So that'll be up later this month. I'm from Australia, so it's 8:30 in the morning. Oh, well, that's not that bad. I mean, Grant, you do have to pull it together enough to get going. So yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. Which of the Avengers characters would you cosplay as? Depends. Are you asking me for movies or comics? Because comics obviously opens up a much wider range of characters that I could conceivably do a cosplay as. So you got to be more specific. Full of pizza on the eve of my birthday, on the high from finishing a show to some council live streams. Perfect. Well, Alex, happy birthday in advance. Midnight in Ireland, 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, MCU. Okay, so if I was going to cosplay somebody from the MCU, I'm trying to think if there was really any, I mean, I would never have the capability of putting this together, but hella, mainly because I want that helmet. The least Steve could have done was kiss Bucky on the cheek. Oh, Alchemist, you were left wanting on that, huh? A random question, but if I paused it in another tab, but do you watch Drag Race? I do not. I watched the first 4 seasons of Drag Race, and partway into season 5, the show was beginning to bank more and more on the backstage drama and the backbiting and the animosity between queens. And I don't know how much of that was the way the show was edited, playing up that element more, or if they were just getting intentionally, kind of snippier people, hoping that they'd clash. But it was... Season 5 was starting to remind me of the reasons why I don't do drag shows anymore. And again, as I've said, I had a video go up on the Vera Wild channel last month. As I said there, like, when I make my complaints about drag and the drag performance community, take all of it with a grain of salt because I have not done a proper drag show in over a decade. So my experience, while I stand by what I say about it, is very out of date. I hope. So there you go. My spring allergies are bothering me, but this will make me real. Well, I hope it helps. I'll feel better. I don't know what happened. You'll be a real boy now. Uh, hey there, Claudia. Reality shows seem to be like that in general. Well, yeah, and I understand that as a factor, but the thing was, it seemed like it was getting worse as the show went along. So again, how much of that was just how they were choosing to present the footage they had, and how much of that was, the contestants actually being less pleasant with each other, I don't know. But it was evoking the elements of drag that made me stop doing it. Opinions on Korg playing Fortnite and Hulk dabbing, the most important parts. I mean, like, I'll let you know a secret. I've never played Fortnite. I mean, like, I recognize Fortnite. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing. And Korg is, like, kind of a weird enough, it's kind of like slightly out of touch, but, like, thinks he isn't kind of guy that I'm like, yeah, Fortnite, sure, that makes sense. Hulk dabbing, again, it's just that slightly cheesy thing that I could buy Banner if he thinks he's cool doing. So, yeah, that worked. You think they will make a movie about Sam being Captain America? Well, see, the thing is, Claudia, they've got the Disney Plus show that officially the title is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would not be shocked if that is basically Sam coming to terms with taking on the mantle of Captain America. And if they do that, they may not feel the need to actually make a film about it. They certainly haven't announced one for him. So I have a suspicion if that happens at all, it's a ways down the line. And it'll probably depend on response and reaction to the Disney Plus show. What was your favorite part of Endgame? Oh, God. I'm not even sure. I hadn't really thought about breaking it down in terms of a favorite part. I just thought it was a really strong film, overall. It's an impressive piece of work. Will I be remembered as the Muffin Kid? Yes, Andrew, it's going to be on your tombstone. You need to accept that at this point. Do you think the MCU risks franchise fatigue? No. No, because they've done a pretty good job at having a different enough vibe for each property that they kind of exist in fairly independently. So, if you're tired of, oh God, I don't know, the sort of, low-level heist nature of the Ant-Man movies, you can go for a little bit of outer space buddy comedy with Guardians of the Galaxy, or you can, well, I mean, they'll be done with Captain America, but you can go for, heavier material with the Captain America movie. So, there's a different enough feel from film to film. I think at least that it helps shake it up. Now, they're all still superhero movies, but they're different enough, and I think the superhero genre is varied enough that there's no reason for us to be getting fatigue as long as the movies are still decent. I've said before that if anything's going to bring on fatigue, it's going to be mediocrity. So that's what needs to be watched out for, is not too many films, it's too many mediocre films, which I'm of the opinion Marvel hasn't been doing, but, to each their own. Probably not gonna. That's another conversation. I'm praying they hire showrunners writer for the Disney Plus shows that recognize the chemistry between Mackie and Stan and use it well. Well, yeah. I mean, Disney and Marvel have done, for the most part, a pretty good job of pairing creators to property. And honestly, the biggest fall downs have been on the TV side, but somehow the Disney Plus things are still being done under Kevin Feige instead of under Ike Perlmutter, who normally heads up the TV stuff. So I'm not entirely sure how they're getting away with doing that, but it that gives me more confidence because it's the stuff done under him rarely falters, and when it does, not by much. Why do you always refer to Liz as your partner, not your girlfriend? Is she gender fluid as well? No, Liz is not gender fluid. The reason I refer to her as my partner is because girlfriend just sounds, it sounds very high school to me. It sounds very fleeting. You know, I feel like the word girlfriend doesn't properly convey the level of commitment we have towards each other. So we use partner because she is a partner in my life. So it's, I don't use that to conceal her gender, although I do kind of get a kick out of using partner and seeing people kind of like who don't already know me or know her and like trying to figure out, oh, is this a man? Is this a woman? What's he talking about? I'll admit to getting a kick out of that, but that's not the reason that I refer to her that way. This is more about Captain Marvel, and I hate to be the person to ask, but did you ever note the subtext between her and her friends? Okay, so I'm assuming you mean the potential for a romantic relationship between. Hold on, I'm going to adjust this a little. Between Carol and Maria Rambeau. Like, the thing was, it didn't especially jump out at me watching the film, but I mean, I'm so averse to romantic entanglements in most things anyway that I was never gonna, like, pick up on subtler hints to that. And personally, I kind of appreciate that she didn't have a love interest. And I'm not saying that because, like, I wouldn't have wanted to be with Maria. I would not have wanted that as a plot element in general. But I've certainly seen a number of very compelling arguments indicating relationship and familial, marriage, even coding between the two characters. And I would like to see that pay off. I don't know if it will. We'll see. I buy it. Sure. I love Liz. She is so cute. Yes, she is. She's adorable. I love her. Love her so very much. Have you managed to see the Far From Home trailer? Yes, on Sufferance. So, I'm actually going to be shooting a video after I wrap this up. I'm going to be shooting a video on the Far From Home trailer. That'll go up on Thursday. So you folks are actually going to get a video a week this week. So, but in any case, I wasn't going to watch that trailer because I already knew I was going to watch Spider-Man Far From Home. And once I already know I'm going to watch something, usually I'll watch the initial teaser. And then I usually will try to not watch any additional trailers after that because I already know I'm going to see it. So anything you show me is just going to be a potential spoiler. Unfortunately, and I'm going to warn anybody right now who tried to do what I tried to do in terms of avoiding the Far From Home trailer. I'm about to say what was said in that thing, so that's your warning. What the thing that got brought up that everybody started writing think pieces about, which was the hint at a multiverse, that unfortunately is the kind of thing that gets stuck in friggin' headlines and titles of videos, so I don't even have to watch them to realize that that was a thing he hinted at in that trailer. Then I'm like, well, fine, I'll watch the damn trailer. So I've seen it. I don't dislike the trailer. I dislike the fact that I feel like my hand was forced in terms of watching it. So there's that. And like I said, I'm going to shoot a whole video on this, but long story short, it's really weird to me that people are now doing all this speculation on, ooh, how's the multiverse work? It's like, you guys know that the information source on there being a multiverse is Mysterio, and Mysterio's entire thing is deception, falsehood, lies, illusion. Like, everything about this guy is not what he presents himself as. So, like, why are so many people suddenly going, oh, there's a multiverse? Like, what? No, I'm not saying it's impossible that there is, but, like, I don't trust the source here. Come on. You seem certain that the Black Widow movie would be a prequel, but the same was said. Oops, sorry. Lost it. Hang on. But the same was said about the Spider-Man movie Far From Home. Are you less certain about the introduction? Who was saying that Far From Home was a prequel? Who was saying that? I wasn't saying that. I knew Far From Home took place after Endgame. Or did I misunderstand your question? Yes, and the Spider-Man trailer spoiled the Endgame ending, which was... Tony will come back sometime? No, he won't. No, he won't. Which is the main reason that this is not going to be a multiverse. Tony is done. Chris Evans is done. Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow, she's done. The actors are done. Their contracts are up. They're finished. And they're not going to introduce a multiverse, because if they do, immediately every single fanboy with a friggin' theory channel or a blog is immediately going to start going, "Oh, here's how they're going to bring back Iron Man." They had to write an ending for Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is not going to play this part forever. He's done. He finished. How could he fool Nick? And Nick talked about this. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay. If Nick... The way Mysterio works, Mysterio is an opportunist. So if something like the snap happens, which is this big universe-shaking event, he can probably very easily piggyback and go, "Ooh, they'll believe all sorts of crazy stuff might have happened. And I'll just present with my fake whatever and tell them this, and they'll buy it." And that is my prediction. Wait, is Pepper done? Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow said she's finished with these movies. I prefer DC multiverse. I'm not a big fan of multiverses in general, as a rule of thumb. And DC, like, see, when you say you prefer the DC multiverse, like, which version? Because it's been used very differently at very different points, and the way they have either collapsed it or brought it back has oftentimes been not good. So, I don't know. What sort of rewards do you offer your Patreon sponsors? Looking for advice? I'm just setting mine up to support my creative well-being work. Well, I mean, you can go to the Patreon page and you can see the tiers and the rewards are right there. But there's things like the Discord server, having your name in the end credits of the videos, getting a signed business card, getting small merch items like buttons and magnets and keychains, getting a signed copy of one of my books, commissioning a review, and increasing cost at each of these. But like, you can feel free to go to the Patreon and check it out if you want like a point of guidance on that. I love when things end satisfyingly. I hate the idea of Wolverine ever coming back. I mean, like, some version of Wolverine will be introduced into the MCU. It's not going to be Hugh Jackman. So that, we got closure on that. Pepper Potts will turn out to be a time lady and regenerate into Bill Potts. Even if they introduce multiverse, they can't convince RDJ to come back. He said in Iron Man 2, "You can't afford me." I mean, the guy's also the oldest core cast member. Like, I think he's just ready to be done. Pre-crisis all the way. Multiverses get confusing. Not always. They can, depending on how you come at it. Like, once you sort of know the basic setup that they exist, I don't think they're that confusing. If you're not used to the concept, yeah. I mean, just the same way as time travel can be confusing the first time you try and wrap your head around a story that uses it. Have you seen Disney's docket for 2021 and 2022? There are 8 live-action remakes. Meg? Don't do this to me. Please tell me that's a joke. Oh, God. I guess Spider-Man will doubt about him being from another dimension, but in the end, a twist, it's true. I really don't think so. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's impossible. I rarely deal in declarative statements, but I just don't see it. Hope next Wolverine is really, really tiny as he's supposed to be. It would be kind of cool to see a 5'3" Wolverine, which I believe is his canon height. Who's your ideal pick for a recast MCU Wolverine? Somebody I've never heard of. just like Hugh Jackman was when he got the role in the first place. How's your week been so far? It's been okay. Sorry, I should have clarified. Multiverses get confusing for me. Okay, fair enough. I'm not kidding. I saw it on Saber Sparks' Twitter earlier and was fuming. Live action remake of a stew bag full video. Boy, imagine seeing the practical prop of the Living Flesh supercomputer. That would be something. So, Meg, did they actually have a list of what they all were, or just how many that were happening? Because now that we've dug this hole, I'm curious as to how much pain I should be in right now. Have you gotten around to the Twisted DVD yet? I haven't, but progress. I took the plastic off, so I'm one step closer to watching it. I feel really bad about that. But like I've got that, and I've got books people sent me. I'm still trying to get through stuff. Maybe if I'm very lucky, by my next birthday, I will have gotten through all the stuff that was sent to me from this past birthday. We'll see. Unless one of those Disney remakes is Hunchback, I don't want to hear. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear that either. Well, I want to see Peter Dinklage cast as Puck. I love Thor and Guardians 3, but Adam Warlock is a must. Oh, I totally forgot that they hinted at Adam Warlock. Do you think the Snyder Cut of Justice League should be shown? I don't care. I mean, like, I just don't care. Should it be shown? I don't, like, it won't be. Like, whether it exists, let's take for a moment, let's take it as a given that the Snyder Cut does exist. That there is some rough cut version that was Snyder's vision. We're never going to see it. Because Justice, like, it would cost Warner Brothers money to assemble, polish, and release that. They're not gonna do it. Justice League already lost them too much money. They're not gonna put the money in to do it. So even if it exists, we're never gonna see it. Should we be able to? I don't know. Again, it's hard for me to say because I don't care. Like, out of morbid curiosity, I guess if it was available, I'd watch it just to do a comparison, but like, I just don't care. Sorry I'm late, but the Toreador from London checking in. Better late than never. Yes, agreed. Talking about anime, have you seen Perfect Blue? Yes, I have. Been a long time, but yes, I have. That is a good one. I might even own that. I'm trying to remember if that was one I bought or not. I cannot remember. Adam Warlock, Howard the Duck, and Cosmo. I doubt we're gonna get much out of Cosmo. Did people see that Howard the Duck was in fact in Endgame? Like in one shot, blinking you miss him. Like, I didn't notice him. I've seen the stills though, and he is in there. So I know Chris Evans is done, but do you think he will still be up for cameos? I don't know if he will be. I don't think they should. I think they should just let it be done, because knowing the fan bases, if you even drop them in as a cameo, people will start asking, when do we get them again? When do we get them again? And like, at that point, it's almost just teasing the audience, and I don't think there's much to be gained from that. Favorite Satoshi Kon film? I'm not entirely sure who that is. That's not to say I haven't seen any of their films, but it is to say I don't recognize the name. Hi from the UK. What's your taste in anime? Selective. I'm more partial to anime films than TV shows, because anime TV shows tend to dip into more of the anime tropes that I don't like. Whereas I feel the films tend to do that, the sort of stuff that turns me off a bit less. Satoshi Kon is the one who did Perfect Blue. What else have they done besides Perfect Blue? Because I'm not sure if I've seen anything else from them or not. Again, Goose the Flirking Cat needs a movie. I don't know if he needs a movie, but Rocket needs to see him and lose his crap, like he did in the comics. Hilda was one of only 4 Emmy Awards that she was nominated for. Screw you, daytime Emmys. I don't pay attention. Like I forget that the Emmys happen, and I never keep track of when like that. Considering that it's an award show relating to a medium that I do enjoy, which is television. Like I totally forget about the Emmys. Cosmo was in the credits of Volume 2. Needs to be in Volume 3. Oh, yeah, I guess he was, wasn't he? I'd forgotten that. It's been a while since I've rewatched some of these. Satoshi Kon has also done Millennium Actress, which I've seen and liked very much. Tokyo Godfathers I have not seen. And Paprika. Paprika was okay. It was weird. It was a little creepy in ways that I didn't enjoy at times. It was interesting. That one didn't quite work for me. Yes, so I think we can add. Do you like anime or what anime do you like to the drink questions list? I hope live action remakes perish. You and me both. Holy cow! Thoughts on the new Sonic trailer? I think I mentioned this last live stream. It's just the 90s-est thing that ever 90s. It's insane. It's like it stepped out of a time. Like I wonder, is that the multiverse? That happened with the snap. Is we opened up a portal to an alternate universe where it's still the 90s, and this movie dropped out of that? Because that's what it feels like. Hey, did anyone saw Howard the Duck when last fight of the Avengers Endgame happened? I didn't spot him, but I've seen the pictures. What anime do you like? Cheers. I actually don't. I don't have a drink with me up here. Sorry about that. The problem with a Doctor Who movie is who is playing the Doctor. No, the problem with the Doctor Who movie is you only get to do one story. Whereas what I love about Doctor Who is the fact that literally every story, every episode or every 2 episodes, gets to be something completely different. And I wouldn't feel like we got anything more by stretching one story out into an hour and a half to 2 hours. I just don't see the benefit in that. Paprika was one of the inspirations for Inception. I did know that, and I sort of saw the bleed over a little bit there. It still just didn't quite work for me. Do you know the YouTuber Implicitly Pretentious? Nope, have not heard of that one. I frankly feel bad for Age of Ultron. I have no idea what people have against. I personally prefer it to the first one. The thing about Age of Ultron is it has some of my favorite scenes in Marvel, to be honest. It has wonderful components. They just don't quite fit together right. So it's like all these individual pieces of an engine are meticulously crafted and perfectly polished, and they are the best that they can be, but like they don't quite fit together, and then the overall engine kind of sputters as it goes along. That's sort of my take on Age of Ultron. I think it does get it gets treated a little rougher than it deserves, but I do think it doesn't quite pull together. The Sonic news made me nervous. Most animators aren't unionized, so they'll likely be overworked. Oh, yeah, the fact that they're talking about going back and fixing the look of Sonic. There's going to be some people made to work some very ungodly hours for that, and that's wrong. So there you go. I'm so happy you ranked Castrovalva so high in your ranking. It was one of my favorite episodes of all Who, but Davison was my doctor growing up, which is fair. And I'm capable of recognizing when a story with Davison works really well, despite the fact that I don't really enjoy him. So I can whoops, sorry. I can detach those things. Sorry, I kicked the tripod. Did you see the Stu Bagful video about Buffy? Nathaniel featured in it as a stick figure recently. You go back through his stuff because I support him on Patreon, and there's a certain tier on Stu Bagfield's Patreon where he will draw you as a stick figure and put you in videos sporadically. So I haven't kept track of which ones I'm in, but like going back about a year, a little more than that, I think, you can find me sprinkled throughout his videos in stick figure form, and I love those. Makes me very happy. Just own it. Let the teeth hedgehog be horrible. Look, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is going to be terrible no matter how the hedgehog looks. The hedgehog looking as bad as he doesn't help and kind of makes it worse, but fixing that is not going to suddenly make it a good movie. I mean, that's the sad reality. Thoughts on Chibnall scrapping the Daleks and Cybermen? Have not heard anything about that, so I have no thoughts. Does Iron Man die in the end? Well, I mean, we're talking spoilers, so yeah. Yeah, he does. I mean, like, normally I say don't talk spoilers in here, but, like, it's in the name of the live stream. I said they would be here. Sonic has perfect teeth like yours. Yeah. Thousands of dollars worth of orthodontia and many years of crap in my face to get these teeth. Trans Gamer Girl is aware they just outed how old they are. No shame in that. If you could choose a Doctor Who story to adapt into a movie, Peter Cushing movie style, which would it be, if any? Again, I'm not sure I'd go for the... the whole idea of doing a movie. And part of it is, like, I can't think of a story that I'm like, ooh, if only they did this with a movie budget. I'm like, So I don't know. I can't get my brain to get into a gear where I can even really answer that. But does Sonic have 5 nipples like real hedgehogs? Well, I mean, maybe they'll add that in when they fix it. Not as old as I am. Should have been Clint, not Natasha. I mean, I think the story would have worked either way. I think in a lot of ways the expectation would have been Clint, because I know, like, people have been expecting him to die ever since it was revealed that he had a family, because, like, you give a character more to lose, and it's like, ooh, it'll be so tragic when we kill him. So I kind of like that it wasn't Clint for that reason, if nothing else. But that's me. Still mourning in New Zealand. Oh, yeah, you're lucky, Kim. Gotham Season 5 was the biggest disappointment since my son. Oh, Gotham Season 5 was a pretty big disappointment, though. Yeah. Are we doing Endgame spoilers then? I mean, like, we've kind of talked the movie already, but I mean, they're on the table, so by all means. How does the Patreon tier work for the whole what? I don't even know what to make of that. Sorry. First real life Sonic and then Illumination making a Mario movie. I mean, like, I'll wait for a trailer on that one. I mean, Illumination has made decent movies, and I actually think Sing is legitimately good. So, and that's not to say that I expect a Mario movie made by Illumination is going to be awesome, but I'll see a trailer. We'll see how it goes. Lilo and Stitch live action, yeah, I knew about that one. Hot take. Captain America the Winter Soldier is only good because of the Winter Soldier scenes. The conspiracy stuff was boring as mud, and the filmmaking was generally uninteresting. Interesting take. Wrong, but interesting. Top 3 Marvel characters that are still alive after Endgame. Peter Parker. So top spot's easy. Peter Parker, Rocket, Nebula. Been watching your channel for over 2 years, and based on your interest, I would recommend you watch a show called Doctor Who. I'll have to check that one out, Ben. I think I just don't like Illumination because of their philosophy: make things cheap and appealing to the masses to make bank. I mean, fair. It works. Have you seen or read The Trifid? Do you mean Day of the Trifid? I haven't. I know what it is, but no, I haven't. Have you seen or talked about the new Spider-Man trailer? Yes, I did. I'm gonna be shooting a video on it. That'll go up on Thursday. So, I don't know why they're doing live action Lilo and Stitch. Look, I don't know why they're well. No, I know why they're doing all of it, but yeah. Let's bring back Max Headroom only if Matt Frewer does it again. No one else has any business playing Max Headroom. I will say that definitively. Anything LGBTQ in Endgame? Yes. I mean, not from a major character, but early on in sort of an extended scene that's set 5 years after the snap. There's kind of a meeting that Steve, that Captain America is in, of people, just trying to cope and move forward with their lives. And there's a guy in there, and I guess somebody said it was one of the directors playing this part, talks about, I went on a date and it was weird. And, he mentions eventually telling the story, he drops the pronoun he. So his date was with a guy. So it's not a named character, but yes, there is a gay people at least exist. It's more than J.K. Rowling's given us. So, did you know the gay character at the beginning of Endgame was one of the Russos? I knew that because of comments on the review. Captain America kissed his niece, though. Like, niece by marriage, not niece by blood. Not that makes that whole Sharon Carter thing any less weird. It's still weird, but don't make it weirder than it is, okay? Do you like the British comedy series Red Dwarf? I've got a video up called Why Red Dwarf is Awesome. So no, I don't really like it all that much. You smeghead. J.K. Rowling put that character in there so that she could later say how Thor is secretly non-binary and into bondage. I mean, here's the thing. I could actually see Thor being into bondage, but not realizing it because he's only ever been hit hard enough for it to register in the middle of a fight. So I think if he ever got smacked around in a non-combat setting, he might realize he kind of likes it. Smeghead. Who's Max Headroom? I saw a cameo in the Back to the Future. Oh God. How do you explain Max Headroom? Max Headroom is a product of the 80s. I really don't know how else to explain it. They also have Sword in the Stone with a writer-producer from Game of Thrones. I have to hope you're joking. Ever seen Fawlty Towers? Yeah, I've seen the first series of Fawlty Towers and some of the second series. Guardians of the Galaxy plus Avengers. Guardians of the Avengers. If Sony let Disney do it, do you think an MCU Spider-Verse crossover would work? I mean, the thing is, I couldn't find the most reliable source, but I believe it, that they had wanted to try and get, at the very least, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in to voice some variants of Spider-Man. But in addition to, I think, not being able to get the schedules to work, or possibly they weren't interested, they also decided to narrow down, because at some of the conceptual stages, there were going to be way more Spider people in that film than there are. So, I could totally see in a future Spider-Verse movie cameoing the Tom Holland Spider-Man in there somewhere. I could absolutely see them doing that. I don't want it the other way around, because I think, as much as I bitched about the whole multiverse thing, like, I feel like there's enough separation in most people's mind between live action and animation that people wouldn't take the animated film implying that it's connected to the live action as canon the way that they would the live action implying it's connected to the animated one as canon. So I actually wouldn't have the same huge issues with that I would with the possibility of there being multiverse in the MCU, which maybe is splitting hairs, but I don't know. That's just how it lands for me. Oh my God, you now put the image of Thor bent over a spanking horse while Black Widow canes him. Thanks. You are welcome. I now need someone to draw that for me. Next time you go to a Comic-Con, commission that from an artist. Please. Did someone explain Nebula killing her past self? I mean, what is there to explain? The way that the time travel works, it's not Back to the Future, so her future self isn't going to phase out from killing her past self. Nothing will ever top the BDSM on the He-Man movie where He-Man gets whipped by... Okay, yes. Okay, the 80s... The 80s He-Man has He-Man completely bare-chested being whipped by a character they created for the movies called Blade. While Skeletor watches and it really looks like he's getting off to it. He like does this little like... He's like clutching his his staff and like, oh, every time the whip cracks, it's so kink, it is insane. Oh, I love that movie. It's not good, but I love it so much. And I'm pretty sure that this part of the live stream is now going to get this demonetized. I'm calling that now. I really need to defend Back to the Future. I have a whole series on my channel about Back to the Future, and Endgame has slapped me in the soul. Look, Endgame doesn't say that Back to the Future is bad. It just said that's not how time travel is going to work here. Like, you don't have to take it as a hit on your beloved franchise. A lot of 70s and 80s movies must have inspired a lot of kinks, let's be fair. I mean, like, in both ways. There were a lot of filmmakers into, like, very plainly putting their... I mean, still, like, keep an eye out for the way Joss Whedon or Quentin Tarantino shoot women's feet one of these days. Keep an eye out for that. So, like, filmmakers with fetishes ain't new. Back to the Future is BS. Quote Scott Lang in Endgame. Yes, because he was trying to use it as a factual reference, which it isn't. You're taking it a little... Like, I get that you love Back to the Future, but you're taking it a little personally. Tarantino doesn't even try to hide his foot fetish, especially in Death Proof. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say it's something that maybe you would think to look for, but it's one of those things once it's been pointed out, like, you noticed so much. Ever see the Deadpool music video based on Gaston? No. No, I have not. My little ace heart is so awkward in this conversation. Oh, Kara. Oh, no. Not trying to be exclusionary. Make demonetize a drink prop. Maybe. You don't see the hate comments that you get about Back to the Future. The internet is harsh. Okay, look, that's true. You probably get similar, if not worse, comments, though. Well, yes, but I also get rid of them. So. Any news about the new Dark Crystal movie? Well, it's not a movie, it's a series. And no, there has not been anything new on that I know of. Time travel, it's a cornucopia of disturbing concepts. I always liked the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy take on time travel, which is that you can go back and change stuff, but ultimately stuff's all going to work out more or less the same anyway, because it'll all just be fine and adjust. So, like, for example, it says that you don't cause some sort of universe-destroying paradox by going back in time and becoming your own grandmother or grandfather. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being your own grandmother or grandfather that a well-adjusted family can't learn to cope with. So that's kind of always been my preferred take on time travel, if I'm being completely honest. Now that you've seen Endgame, are you going to rank the Marvel movies? Not until I see Far From Home. Then I will rank them. Because then I'll get to be done for the year. Aside from Bon Voyage, who is the greatest Pixar villain. See, I don't think of the villains first and foremost in Pixar. I mean, it probably would be Syndrome, to be honest. I just found the He-Man movie on Stan, so guess what I'm doing tonight? Have fun. Frank Langella is amazing as Skeletor in that. Amazing. Have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows? No. Neither the film nor the series. I have not seen either one. Like, I saw the trailers and, like, I just worry that it's either a bit too much of the cringe style humor, which it just is not my bag. And that's not for me to say that it's bad, but it's like, I don't enjoy that. I just don't. Just the movie. I actually didn't know there was a series. Is the series out yet? Or has that happened yet? I actually lost track. I know the film should be on Amazon Prime. The Prospector. I mean, Kelsey Grammer. Come on. Well, I mean, look, Kelsey Grammer can voice a good villain, but like, you tell me Kelsey Grammer villain, I'm gonna think Sideshow Bob, and he always wins. So, do you think the X-Men franchise could ever be great? I don't know how to answer that because the franchise as we know it is ending, and when X-Men comes back in whatever form Disney Marvel is going to be, it's going to be a completely different beast. Could that be good? Sure, but I literally know nothing about how that's going to be. So to say that it could be good, well, yes, it could, but I have no reason to believe that it will or it won't be. I have no information to go off of. More coffee cup sightings in every movie. Apparently, way more people noticed that Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones than I did. And people, oh boy, I got blowback on that last Game of Thrones review, too. That, wasn't expecting that, but it happens. I love I watched the first episode of the new DuckTales. Gotta love David Tennant as a Scottish duck. Yeah, okay, people, if you have not seen the premiere episode of the new DuckTales, I'm pretty sure it's still up for free on YouTube. Find it, watch it, it's awesome. I think there's a bisexual couple on the TV show. Any updates on a drunk review of Dark Phoenix? Like, I don't know. I'll figure out how I'm going to tackle that thing when I get closer to actually having to watch it. Are you disappointed Hot Pie hasn't played a big role in the last series of GOT? No, I mean, like, Hot Pie got his, we saw he was okay. That's all we needed. That's all we needed until he ends up on the Iron Throne at the end, because that's obviously what's going to happen. Duh. I wonder if anyone caught that cup and went, maybe no one will notice. I would say more likely nobody noticed it, because they could have afforded to CGI it out. I bet you that nobody caught it. Patreon tier drunk reviews. Oh, I suppose, like, if I wanted to, I could make it would be higher than just the commissioned review tier, and it could only be for like 2 episodes of a show or a movie. I could, and like I say, it would be a higher level tier because it's asking more of me than just watching the thing. So, I mean, maybe. maybe as a test run, see if anyone's even interested in giving that a shot. We'll see. The famous kidney pie will bring 1,000 years of peace. I'm afraid all of Nathaniel's reviews will be drunk after Dark Venus. Yes, it's the only way I will be able to cope. I feel that you use the game take a shot every time a certain question is asked as an excuse to drink. Well, see, you say that, except that, like I said, I forgot to grab a drink for this one, so... And also, I don't keep track of the channel well enough to... on that. The DuckTales reboot is made even more awesome when you learn Catherine Tate voices Magic and Dispel. Yeah, I keep forgetting that! And yes, and that is awesome. We could crowdfund some drunk reviews. Oh dear. I feel like I'm making a rod for my own back with this. Oh boy. Do you think Galactus will be the next overarching MCU villain? Yes, but I think he could be. But I do not think there will be an overarching, like, grand, everyone has to come together to defeat them villain for a while. I think they are going to let Endgame put a close on the big crossover universe world-ending threats for a bit. And I think they're going to have it be smaller, more character-focused stuff for a while. Or at least, that's what I hope. That's the smart thing to do. Because scale-wise, you can't top Endgame. I'm not going to say you can't top it quality-wise, but scale and scope, I don't think you can. So I think they're just not even going to try for a while. We need to crowdfund our liver transplant too then. Oh boy. You ever check out the Tangled series and Rapunzel's Tangled Adventures? No, I never did. Never got around to those. From Tumblr, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, and Breaking Bad in Super Hulock for manly men. Oh dear. Yes, I hope it gets smaller for a while too. Like, I think it has to. Like, there's no other way to move forward for a bit. I was gonna say something. What the heck was it? I can't remember. Oh, somebody mentioned crowdfunding. Like, I'm debating whether next year, whether I'm gonna put out the invite to, like, get stuff off the Amazon wish list again, or if I'm actually gonna, like, do a GoFundMe or something like that for something specific. I'm debating that. I've got, what, 10 months to figure that out? I can figure that out. Game of Walking Bad. Are you gonna watch Good Omens? Oh yeah. Oh, you better believe I am. How about Joker? I mean, I plan to see it. I really don't know what to make of it. I'm not turned off. I'm intrigued, but I'm also, like, very cautious about this. There's even a wine bottle behind him. This guy's a party animal. Oh yeah, what's this one? That one's the... Actually, this wasn't wine. This was double bourbon cider is what this was. Oh. Preserve the scent. I mean, I like these kinds of bottles, so I tend to hang on to them. Would the crowdfunding be for one big video or a project? I've got a few ideas for if I ran a crowdfunding like on my birthday, what it would be, and I don't want to say yet because I'm figuring that out. Favorite cocktails. White Russian is the drink of choice for Channel Pop. White Russians are very good. I don't have, like, a go-to cocktail. I'm very mood dependent. Like, I could just as easily go for a vodka and cranberry as a margarita, as a whiskey sour. You know, I'm the kind of person who will browse a cocktail menu and wait for something to jump out at me. Have you seen Excalibur from 1981? I have not. I know you wanted to get more into it. Big Finish started a wish list feature. Yes, I did see that. I haven't looked into exactly how it works yet, but vodka and orange juice is always a winner. Oh, screwdrivers. That just reminds me of college drinking too much, for my part. My ideal cocktail is a chai latte. What are you putting in your chai latte? Long Island iced tea and Jaeger, not together. I do like Jaeger, actually. It seems to turn a lot of people off. I do enjoy it. What's your take on the Gargoyles animated series? Very first episode of Animation Junkie ever did was on Gargoyles because it's awesome. Nothing because they don't drink. Respect. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Can you say hi to Jay? Hi, Jay. You should see Excalibur. It's got Helen Mirren as Morgan Le Fay. I've heard decent things about it, but at this point, I think I might have waited too long. I suspect it's probably just very dated in many ways that might be tough for me to roll with or at least take seriously. Have you ever been to Wales? No, I have not. I've been to England. I've been to London. But that's it. I haven't done the UK outside of that. Worst was a Harvey Wallbanger. I actually don't know what's in those. Dirty gin martini. That my daughter's mother. Dirty martinis, dirty vodka martinis. That's her. Actually, dirty vodka martini, extra dirty. That is her drink of choice. Have you seen Crawl? No, I have not. That one I know is too dated for me. I used to wonder if my teetotal and asexuality was causing me to be a social recluse, but nope, I just have no real social graces. Well, at least now you know that. And now you're not left wondering. Understand oneself. It is a lovely thing. I know you haven't seen Legends of Tomorrow Season 4 yet, but I can already tell you're going to love Charlie. I'm intrigued. As you are a huge fan of the final episode of Dexter, how do you feel when people talk trash about it? Ben, I can't even joke with you about that. I wish I could roll with you. We could have a fun back and forth here, but it's just so bad. I can't even joke. Endgame or drinking games? Both. Wow, glasses off. Yeah, I got serious there for a minute. Somehow had a Malibu sunrise and had a Long Island iced tea one night last week and didn't get tipsy at all. Good or bad, you can all decide. Impressive. I'll go with that. Some drinking games are end games. What's your favorite 80s cartoon? The Real Ghostbusters. Hands down. No question. I think, not necessarily the show as a whole, but I think that is a show where the good episodes are still good, and still hold up. Not every episode of the show does, but the episodes that I own that entire series, and I loved going through it because the episodes that I remember being good are still so good. Any book tips on reading or writing? I've actually been doing a lot more writing lately, which I'm trying to hold the momentum on that, because it feels good to be doing. You should drink. It's a Brazilian drink. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Anyone old like me remember Astro Boy? I know Astro Boy. Never watched it. You know what I have seen episodes of, though? Gigantor. So, not that far off age-wise. How about favorite 90s cartoon? Ooh. Probably Gargoyles. Have you seen Endgame? What's your favorite music? What are your pronouns? Cheers. Everybody finish your drinks. Nicely done, Meg. Caipirinha. Caipirinha. No, I have never tried that. Batman the Animated Series, solid choice. Scariest movie you've ever seen, 1978 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Still. Like, that movie still freaks me out. I've been seeing it since I was 13. It still freaks me out. Is there anyone here who isn't writing something? Well, of course. That is the nature of being an aspiring writer. We're all always working on something. It's never finished. It's never published. But we're always working. Loving the hair. I'm actually... Okay. I'm going to go and get this recolored on Thursday. Probably won't show up on a video until Monday's Game of Thrones review. But I'm going to get this recolored and freshened up. And actually, I'm going to do something that I very rarely do. And that is I'm going to make a Patreon exclusive video. Just sort of a fun, me and the hairdresser that I work with, and just making a fun little thing out of getting all this done. And like I said, I almost never do Patreon exclusive because I don't want to feel like I'm gating off content. But that's the kind of silly thing that I don't feel like I'd ever put on the channel in general. So that'll end up being a Patreon exclusive video, which is, I think it'll only be the second one I've ever done. So if you are interested in seeing that and aren't already supporting me on Patreon, feel free to do that. I need to figure out... like a better way. Well, I mean, I don't know if I need to figure out a better way to plug Patreon, or I just need to keep at it. Cause I'm at a weird transitionary point where I feel like if I could make an outright plea, seems like too much of a begging word, for the Patreon support, like in a video that I know is going to be well viewed. I feel like it would boost the thing. The problem is, people at my work know about this channel. I don't know if anybody watches it, but it makes it, a potential bit of, at best, awkwardness. But the truth is, at this point where I'm at a level where if I could get 10% of my subscriber base, which is about the number of people who consistently watch nearly every video, to commit to $1 a month on the Patreon, it would be tight, but that would cover my bills. So it's maybe we'll get there. I don't know, but it's one of those things where it's fun to think about until I start to think about how likely is it actually going to be, and then I get bummed out, and I don't know. Please add purple and blue. Well, you'll see what gets added when it shows up. And actually, it's funny. I say you'll see it in the Monday Game of Thrones video, but normally I have the hat on for the Game of Thrones, so maybe you'll have to tune into next week's live stream to see the hair. We'll see. Make that a nice incentive for everybody. How to trigger Marvel fans? Just say Batman sucks. Oh, Dan, you're a genius, but you hurt my soul. Can you recommend books for someone who wants to learn how to write? like if you're looking for guidebook, like how-to books on how to write, I've never had much luck getting through them just because they bore me. So I don't have anything like that I can really recommend. I mean, just read what inspires you and then write what it inspires you to write. That's all I can offer. $1 a month, you say, need to check out the exchange rate and my bank. You know, I'd appreciate it. I wish I could give more a month, but college is eating up my money. You know, like, look, here's the thing. As much as I know I can get a little overly pleading when it comes to the Patreon, I don't want anyone to think that they are somehow letting me down by not supporting it. Like, if you just watch, that makes me happy. If you share a video that you thought was particularly good with someone who wouldn't otherwise see it, that's amazing. If you watch these live streams and talk with me, that's terrific. If you support me on Patreon, that's great. If you don't do any of that stuff and you just watch an occasional video, that's great too. Like this entire thing is way bigger than I ever thought it was going to be already. So I really hope that I never come across as ungrateful for what I already have, with the fact that I tend to pine for a little more. So I got to be careful about that. Recently got my BBA in marketing. If you'd like, I can check out the best practices to promote Patreon for you and give you some tips. Honestly, I wouldn't say no. I would be happy to take a look at them. I would love to commission on Patreon one of my favorite series to get your take for my birthday. Is there a wait list? How does that work? Okay, well, if you're commissioning a series, okay. The commission tier, there is currently 4 commission tiers. There's the base one, which is currently all filled up because it's limited slots on each of them. There's the base one, which is just either a single film or 2 episodes of a TV series. That's $60. There is there's the book tier, which is $100. There's, I think it's $300 for a full season of a show, depending on how long episodes are and how many episodes there are. But yeah, so if you're commissioning me for and by series, like a season, a full season, or if it's British series, there is a tier for that. Depending on how long it is, it might be negotiable at a lower tier. You send me a message. Send me a direct message through Patreon, through Twitter, through email, whatever, and we'll talk about what it is you're thinking about, and I'll work with you to figure out how feasible and workable it is. Thank you, Will. Thank you very much. You've never come across as ungrateful. That is good to hear. It was my channel's 1-year anniversary today. Yes! Channel Pup, I saw that. Super pleased with the response I had to things. I did mention you in there amongst other YouTubers that are important to me. Hashtag not a plug. Oh, dang, man. Trying a thing. What's your pronouns? Drink! Everybody drink. Assuming you're of age. If you're under 21, don't drink. Ever seen The Centurions? No, don't know that one. Which do you think is the most scary movie monster ever? I don't... scariest, I don't know. I mean, the best movie monster... oh, hang on. Why the heck did it do that? Hang on a second. Oh, I see what happened. I gotta wrap this up soon anyway. There we go. That's better. The best movie monster is the Xenomorph. I mean, that's just a fact. Where's the... there she is. I don't know if she's necessarily the scariest. I say she because that's a queen. I'll send you a message on Patreon. Cool. We'll talk. It said, what's your partner's pronouns? My partner is just she, her pronouns. Liz is not gender fluid like I am. 18 is the legal age to drink in my country. Okay, but are you 18? That is the important question here. My 3-year-old says hi. Hi, kid. 3. I remember my kid being 3. Do you have a P.O. box? I do. The address is in the description of every video. So check any video. It's there. Actually, I haven't checked the P.O. box in a little over a week. I should do that. Do you include the price of the show or movie in the review? Again, that's something that's sort of worked out on a case-by-case basis. Generally speaking, yes, because most things are either available streaming, and in the few cases where I've had to buy something, it's been like $5-6. So, like, the cost of the commissioned review, I just accept that as an expense. I had one issue where the specific thing that was commissioned, I couldn't like find at a reasonable price, and we renegotiated to something else. So if price ends up, if price or difficulty of me acquiring something that you want me to review ends up being a factor, we may have to work out something else. But generally speaking, assuming it is not hard to get, then that's just built into the commission price already. You can drink age 18 here in Australia. Yeah, I'm 29 for the next 10 years. Yeah, my daughter's mother will be turning 25 this year. Again. Well, no, I won't say how many times, because that would be speaking, and it's not my place to say what her age is. Have you seen Stranger Things? Yes, brilliant first season. Did not like the second one very much at all. I'm 23, but all I got is Pepsi. Oh, dear Lord. Who did you hurt that you are forced to suffer in such a way? Oh. That reminds me, Pepsi or Coke? Neither. I don't like soda. It cost me $16 to see the Dalek movie in theater 3 times. I don't like the taste of alcohol. Valid. I don't like the taste of some alcohols. So. I'll have Pepsi over pineapple pizza. Oh, you shut your mouth. There is nothing wrong with pineapple on pizza. In fact, it is glorious. I will not hear anyone speak otherwise. I've spoken. I don't know why. This is like turning into Batman voice. Any book tips? Any book tips? Look, just the tip. Be gentle. It'll be fine. Do you play tabletop games, D&D, Pathfinder, Call? Like occasionally, not regularly. Prawn chips. Oh God, the prawn chips. Yeah. God, that was those were so gross. Are you still enjoying the new Pink album? Yes, I am. I am. I mean, I like Walk Me Home best. But it's a good album overall. I am enjoying it. Your gender fluidity flowed unusually fall into male there. Well, I forced my voice down. There for a second because it went all dark and gritty. I'm not sure that you could handle this kind of intensity. Or, you just laugh me out of the room. Whatever works. Poison Ivy or Harley Quinn? Poison Ivy because I feel like she is more consistently done well. Harley Quinn is great when done well, but she is very problematic when done poorly. Batman Burlesque. I mean, well, the other thing, and actually I was going to say I'm biased because I've done a Poison Ivy number, except I've also done a Harley Quinn number, so I can't be biased. I've done both. And yeah, there are plenty of Batman, mostly Batman villain, burlesque numbers out there. You could totally base an entire show around it. No, I can't handle it. Please stop. No, that's a good voice if you can maintain it. Like I was like scratching up my throat going that low. Like, hang on a second. trying to figure out how low I can get it where it's like still within my natural register, um, where it's not like me forcing it into a more cartoony voice, which I guess would be around here. But I mean, you'll also notice I sound like a little bit more disaffected speaking this low because my voice tends to go up when I get excited about stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons that my voice usually, if you hear me consistently talking in this low register, I'm probably either very tired or very frustrated or bummed out about something. Because when I have fun, it goes higher. That is just kind of what happens. Are you feeling lucky, pump, punk? Batman is the best man. God, I'm not even drinking. What is wrong with me? Batman is the best rogues gallery. Only one that comes close to Spider-Man's. Well, yeah, pretty much. Flash does have a very fun one though. It'd be fun to watch a DC review with that voice. Who's gonna die, Danny or Jon Snow? Both. Go back to regular voice. I'm sorry. I feel like I just traumatized people. Have you seen the Dirk Gently series on Netflix? I have not. I never did get around to that one. Vera Wild Livestream, you started talking about something nerdy, and I noticed you went into Nathaniel voice. Yeah, I probably did. Because when I do the Vera videos, or the one time I did the live stream, naturally I'm doing the extremes of my voice range now, so that'll pitch up into my upper register. And again, I don't want to put it too high because you flip it up into falsetto, and that's just a mockery of a feminine voice, and you don't want to go there. But in a more thoroughly feminine mindset, my voice actually will kind of naturally pitch up to around here. But you get me talking geeky, and it tends to, if not necessarily bring out the guy in me, at the very least, kind of put the guy side of myself back into the mix, and it brings it down to around here, which I feel like is my standard voice range. My friend keep nagging me to watch Lego Movie 2 because I love the first one, but I grew out of it and really don't care. Should I watch it? Not only should you watch Lego Movie 2, but I just got my copy in, my Blu-ray copy, and probably in June, I am going to make a video devoted to breaking down why this movie is not only better than the first one, but just flat out amazing. So I'm going full video essay on this mofo. That's how much I liked Lego Movie 2. Did you find the Big Lebowski reference funny since Bridges was in the MCU? That wasn't the reason I found it funny. The reason I found the Big Lebowski reference funny was because literally seconds before Tony said it, Liz leaned over to me and said, "He looks like the dude." and then Tony calls him Lebowski. So that was why I found it funny. I hope you do more Vera streams. I'd be up for that. It's just that I'm so rarely in the full makeup when I'm at home. More often than not, if I'm doing the full makeup, it's because I have a show or I have a photo shoot or something. So I'm very rarely at home to do a stream while I'm doing all that. I hear you half pitch a lot of the time. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Have you seen Us yet? No, I've got to wait for either streaming or DVD or something at this point. What's the best movie you watched? One of the best, at least. Well, I actually don't know how to answer that one because I do distinguish between favorite and best. My favorite movie is Ghostbusters. Best movie I've ever watched? God, I don't know. Maybe The Godfather? I don't know. Do you think Game of Thrones had too many characters? No, not for how long it went. I don't think so. Can you tell us about the ring? Well, I mean, it's just a rainbow ring. And actually, this is one sent to me by a subscriber because my original one, which is sitting over there, has a crack in it. That one I picked up at a vintage store because these are actually really hard to find. I don't know where the subscriber found it. But this, you can find rainbow rings, but this specific one is actually rather difficult to find. But I wear it because I have pride, and you know, there you go. I didn't hate Lego Movie 2, but I didn't love it. Waiting to see your video about it. Well, hopefully I can at least show you the merit. I'm not looking to change anyone's mind. You like or don't like what you do or don't, but you know, I have fun with that. If pickles are wrong, I don't want to be right. Pickles are the world's most perfect food. Dill. Anything else is a pretender. Which movie do you wish you had seen in the theaters but you couldn't, did it? Well, I mean, right now it's just us. But there's probably others. Pickles are wrong. Oh, Channel Pup, you and I, those are fighting words. Oh God, there is a pickle war going on now. Dill pickle potato chips. Yes to those. Ban prawn chips and dill pickle chips for all. That is what I shall campaign on. That's right. I am now the 22nd candidate for the Democratic nomination for. Oh God, I hate how long the election cycle is in this country. What you didn't like about Endgame? I didn't think the size of Thor's gut was necessary to make the point. I'm a softer on that now because there were some comments on the review video where some people who described themselves on heavier said how they actually really appreciated it. So like I'm a little softer on it than I was. I still didn't really care for it personally. What about dill prawn chips? Oh, Gabe, that's mad scientist talk at this point. Just no. Pickles are just fine. Crunchy so fun, but not that tasty. Then you are eating the wrong pickles. Half sour pickles, thank you. Like my preference would be garlic dill pickles, personally. Would you like a jelly baby? I still had some. Oh, look at that. I gave them another shot. I'm still a little put off by the flour on them, but now that I've kind of gotten a handle on them, they're not bugging me as much. I still don't love them, but you know, I can handle them better now. I think I actually need to wrap this up. I've gone way longer than usual. I get into these. I have a lot of fun with these. Haribo jelly babies are better. I would buy that. Haribo in general does really good stuff. Cat or dog person? I mean, if you're gonna make me choose, I'm more of a dog person, but I like cats. Have you seen Community? I saw the very first episode and never got back to it. Not because I was like I didn't like it. I just never got back to it. It's castor sugar, not flour. Well, it's about as bland as flour, so whatever it is. All right. Oh, don't worry about it, Kara, because we're actually going to wrap it up. Weed or drink? I don't really care for weed. So yeah, drink. You're eating popcorn? I'm not eating popcorn. I'm eating jelly babies. And no, I didn't bring enough for everybody. What you gonna do? Give me detention? Thank you. Sidratardis Smith, Dr. John Smith. What some interesting names some of you folks have. Favorites flavor of Skittles? Lemon. Fight me. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Like I said, I've got work to do. I've got a video to shoot. I've got other stuff to edit. I've got something I'm going to have going up on Saturday, which is very different for me, and it's something I'm doing totally on a lark, and it's taking way longer than I thought it would, but hopefully people will get a kick out of. And yeah, for right now, that'll wrap it up. Did you get detention a lot? I only got detention once, I think, and that was for being late to morning chapel.